Hey guys, welcome back. This is Ashish Fernando, your global survival guide. It's always amazing to make videos for you guys. Today, we're going to look at the top 7 hacks to save money as an international student. But before we get into the video, make sure you do what we always do, like, share, and subscribe my video because it always helps me do more for you. Hack number 1, make a budget list. A lot of you must be going with a bank loan, or your parents must have sent you some money in your bank account, and it might look like a lot of cash. But you know what? Before you even realize it, poof, it's just gone from your bank account. So you need to make a budget list, and you need to account for the very basic things, especially like your rent and your travel expenses if you're going to and from your university or your workplace or anywhere, right? So make a budget list and make sure that you don't utilize all of your budget. You have to keep a little buffer, and that buffer will always help you because small things cost a lot. Like there's a snow day and you need to have the snow removed from outside your house. That's going to cost $100. So there's a lot there. So make a budget list. That's number 1. And make sure that you don't utilize all of your budget and you don't account for all of your budget. So for instance, you're expecting to spend about $5,000 a month based on your bank loan. Say you got $60,000 a year in bank loans outside of your tuition fee, and you're going to spend $5,000 a month. No, don't even say that to yourself. Tell yourself that you only have $3,000 a month. Keep the remaining 2. Maybe keep it in a separate account. Don't even put it in the same bank account. But that's what I did. And I ended up saving $2,000 each month from the money that my bank had given just for my living, stay, and food expenses, right? So $2,000 a month accounted for $24,000 from my bank loan that I was able to use to do other things. I literally traveled during my school year. I went to Los Angeles, I went to Las Vegas. Everybody wants to go there. So I spent that remaining cash on things that I really love. So it's important that while you save money, you also save it smart enough that you don't really feel the crunch. You can use it to do other things when you realize you have enough money in the bank. Hack number 2, student discounts. Remember that when you're in a different country, especially if you're in the US, they love to give student discounts. You can get up to 40% off at museums, at gyms, when you're taking the metro and the subway. It's insane. In fact, as a student, I'm a big lover of art. So as a student, I used to go to all the museums in Boston and New York, and I literally went for free because there were free student Wednesdays. The best way to know where to find all these cheap student discounts is your school library. If you're a student, go to your school librarian and ask them, and they usually will have a book that shows all the different places where you can get student discounts. So make use of all that. And you know what? Never be afraid to ask. Never feel ashamed to ask anybody if there's a student discount. So my friends who were from Greece, they were never shy of doing these kind of things. So we would be at a random shop buying like some clothes or buying chocolates, and they would even ask them if there's a student discount. And you'd be surprised, but people actually would smile and say, no, there's no student discount, but I'll still give you a 5% discount just because you asked. It's amazing. So that's my second hack, is ask for discounts and look within your university or within your workplace for your HR or the librarian, and ask them for all the discount coupons that are available for students. Hack number 3, use cheap phone services. You'll be amazed at how much you save. Even if you save like $1 every time you make a phone call to your home country from any of these international destinations, if you can save that little bit, it will add up pretty quickly because most of you must be missing your family, right? So you'll call up. So one of the apps that I would suggest is called RevTel. RevTel is where you spend like hardly a few cents making an international call. So I know that you might be saying, hey Ashish, but there's WhatsApp and there's Viber and there's all of these other services. But yeah, it will work when you're in good connection, when you have good data, right? But there are services that are called VoIP services, and Reptel is one of them. There's also a few others. I know there's Google Voice and there's a few other services. But you pay some charge to them, and it does not use your data. It actually makes a regular call. So even the person on the other side does not need to have data. They will receive a regular call, and it's really clean and crystal clear. So you will save a lot of money just by making those kind of decisions on your phone calls. Also, talking about phones, remember that SIM cards and mobile services are really expensive, especially in the US and the UK as well. So you might want to think of cheaper alternatives. One of the alternatives I suggest to a lot of people is to go for the new Google Fi service. So it's called Google Fi, Fi. And Google Fi is a service where you pay as you go. So say, for instance, you don't use your SIM card for making calls or using data, you will not even be charged for that month. But if you use it, based on how much you use it, you'll be charged. Whereas if you go for a regular line like a Verizon or an AT&T or a T-Mobile, they will charge you. Even if you don't use your phone, you'll spend about $50 a month easily just on your phone line. So I would say that's an amazing way to save some cash for sure. All right, hack number 4, learn to cook. And there's more with food you can do, because food typically turns out to be the second or the third most expensive item after rent and probably travel if you travel a lot. So with food, I strongly suggest before leaving your home country, learn how to cook. Because if you don't, you're going to struggle. You will have to eat outside, and you're spending on an average around $10 per meal. That will add up. 3 meals a day is about $30 times 30 days. That's about $900 to $1,000 that you will spend a month on just eating out. Versus if you know how to cook, you'll be spending somewhere around $100 a week in groceries and all the food items that you'll buy and bring home, right? And you'll actually have more money left to buy like your favorite soda and the bag of chips that you really like. If you're in the US, you might like the French fries. But yeah, I would suggest learn how to cook. Even if you don't know how to cook and you're already there, it's never too late. There's a lot of ways to learn how to cook and make simple dishes. If nothing else, you can make a salad. Get all the veggies and all the fruits and nuts and breadcrumbs and put a little sauce on it. There you go. For less than $5, you'll have a good meal. So that's something I would suggest from a food standpoint. Even if you go outside, so I know that a few friends of mine do this. Like when you go to bakeries and pastry shops outside and you go like 30 minutes before they're going to close, they will give away all of their stuff for free. And it's like the fresh items made that day. So I know of a lot of people who go there for dinner and they'll pay for the dinner, but then they'll get all these cookies and things, right? So they'll then stack up their house. So there are a lot of ways to save on food, especially if you're going to a supermarket. Remember that how much you spend will also vary. So if you're going to a Whole Foods versus if you're going to Walmart, you're going to see a huge price difference in products, even groceries. Whole Foods is typically twice or thrice more expensive than a Walmart. And they have this Walmart, I think it's called True Value or something. But if you go there, you'll know and you'll save a lot of money. So groceries, that's how you save on food. You cook at home, you buy from a supermarket that's actually cheap, I would say inexpensive, not as expensive as a Whole Foods, but then you get fresh produce every day. So that's something you should look for. Talking about supermarkets and grocery chains, here's our hack number 5. Shopping, other than your produce, you need to wait for the right time. I'm sure in all the countries that you guys are coming from, there's happiness sales and end of season sales. There's a lot of that in every country you go to, and you need to find which is the best one. So for instance, in the US and Canada, there's Thanksgiving, there's Cyber Monday, there's Black Friday, and there's all of these days when you get heavy discounts. So when it comes to your non-produce, non-grocery items, save for those days, and you can save a lot of cash. So for instance, my friend just got a television this Black Friday, and the television would typically cost about $750. It was like a door discount or something, and he got it for $300. So that's a lot of money saved right there, right? And now that remaining money can be put elsewhere. You have fun with it, but that's how you save outside. Do not buy the minute you land there and say, okay, I have this amazing apartment, now I need all my furniture, I need all my utensils, I need a TV. No, you should plan accordingly. If you're going for the fall intake, it typically happens to be at the perfect time, because you will all go to school around September, right? And then if you wait for 1 month, you will hit Black Friday and Thanksgiving. So spend that 1 month, a little frugal, maybe, yeah, get a mattress and, simple utensils, and then wait for those kind of sale seasons to actually go and buy stuff. There's also things like yard sales and flea markets. So typically, if you look at local listings like Craigslist, or if you look at, there are a lot of these apps where you can search local listings, you will see people who have a yard sale. This will be people who are maybe moving to a different location or just selling all the stuff that they have in their house for some financial reason. But they will do a yard sale in literally their backyard or their front yard, and they'll bring all of the items there. And you'll be surprised at how many good pieces of furniture and lamps and lighting you can find at these sales. It's amazing. As a student, I must admit I did a little bit of that. Now I do not, because I've already graduated and I have a job, and I buy from places like IKEA and all of these other places, which are also pretty cost effective. But as a student, I do understand there will be times when you'll be like, I don't want to spend that $200 on a mattress, well, mattress is a different thing, okay? So furniture and lamps and things of that nature, yes, but be very careful when you're buying something like a mattress from a yard sale, because it might have termites, it might have a lot of things. You never know what's in there. So be very careful, but that's an amazing way to save money and save on your expenses while you're abroad. Okay, hack number 6, and this is probably the most important hack. I should have kept this at number 1, but for some odd reason it's at 6, is saving on accommodations. So you have to hack your way into the best accommodation possible for yourself, because that will be the biggest expense item outside of your tuition fee. Accommodation in the US can cost anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 per person per month, right? So that's a lot of money. The way I hacked accommodations is I literally lived with 3 other friends of mine. So we were 4 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we had split each bedroom into 2 halves with like a curtain. So yes, it's still just a curtain, it's not a wall, but when you have to save money, you'll come up with all of these creative ways. So that's what we did, right? But we had this understanding between ourselves that if the curtain is closed, I need my private space. Do not disturb me, right? And when you find really good people to stay with you, especially when you're going there and you start studying, you'll find a lot of classmates who will be really nice, and you might want to live in with them. You can find those kind of options, and now suddenly your rent will go down from that $1,000 to $2,000 down to like $500 to $1,000. Imagine the amount of savings you'll make. And I think this is the biggest hack that you can come up with. As a student, you won't have family, most likely. Some of you might. But for the ones who don't, for all the bachelors and spinsters, that's the best way to do it. Even before you go abroad, you should explore roommates.com, and you should explore all of these other websites, even Craigslist. I don't really recommend Craigslist too much, because there's a lot of noise there and a lot of fake listings as well. But like roommates.com, amazing place. That's where I found my 3 roommates. And even before we landed there, we had decided where we're going to live, who's going to take what bedroom, and how much we're going to pay. It's amazing. And then with all the money we saved, we literally took 10% of all the money we saved and we went out on dinners over the weekend together. So even now, these people are like my closest best friends, and they also helped me save money back then. So it's just amazing. So save on accommodation. Look for options around your university or your campus. Avoid staying in campus, because in campus dorms will always have a rule. Every bedroom is only one person, and it will typically cost about 2 times what it would cost off campus. Look for off campus housing, find people who can stay with you, and then just figure it out. It's just the best thing to do, guys, to save all your money. Okay, finally, for hack number 7. So credit cards are a very popular way of saving money outside of typically the Asian countries. Like, I'm Asian, I'm from India, and I know that my friends from China and Philippines are not used to credit cards. But in the US, in Canada, in UK, Australia, anywhere you go, credit cards are actually a great way to save money while also building your credit. Okay, so make sure that you qualify for credit cards. Some places will need you to have a social security number. Some of them just don't need anything. They just need a bank account. And as a student, they will give you a credit card with a small credit limit. But you need to look for the right credit card. There's hundreds of them out there. You know that, right? But what you need to look for is a credit card that does not charge you an annual fee, a credit card that will give you back a reward, either in the form of cash. It's called a cash reward credit card. Or it will give you a point reward, which is a point reward credit card, and you can use the points to buy stuff online or to travel or to book hotels. So be very careful and make sure that you use the right credit card, because that's a great way of getting money back. So when I was studying, I had a Citibank American Airlines credit card. So every time I made a purchase with the credit card, it would give me points on American Airlines. So every time I would just travel on that airline, and then what happened eventually over time, and I didn't realize this, is because I kept traveling only on American, now I also had points from just American. And then there was a time when I could use even those points to travel further. So also it helps. So this just happened to me, but on a side note, I would suggest if you're buying a credit card, if you're getting a credit card that is associated with airline miles, try to travel on just the one airline. You will save on a lot of money, you'll get free upgrades, and you'll get a lot of stuff. So credit cards is a great, great way to save money, but let me warn you, please take my advice seriously. Credit cards, you don't really see the money, so you don't even realize when you're spending all of it, right? So by the time the bill hits you, it's already too late. It comes end of the month and you'll be like, oh my God, there's an overdraft. It's a thing. You will have just $5,000 on your credit card and you'll say, okay, anyways, if I spend it, it's just going to be $5,000. No, some banks will do an overdraft, which means if you go beyond $5,000, they will still let you use your credit card. But for every dollar above that credit limit, they will charge you an extra fee. So, and if you don't pay that fee, they'll charge you even more in interest the next month. So guys, be very careful. Use your credit card judiciously, but if you use it in the right way, you can save a ton of money as a student or as an employee, wherever you are, in whichever country you are. Okay guys, that's it from me. Hope you liked those hacks. If you know of any other hacks as a student, or you think of something very unique and creative to save money, put it down in the comments. I'm sure the others will read and we'll have a really good conversation on how to save money, because as students it's really important that we can save some cash and use it to do better stuff like travel or even buy books, you never know, or buy some online courses. But yes, thank you so much. As usual, thank you for all the love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button because you'll see more of these videos, and it just always prompts me to make more videos for you every time. So I will see you in another video shortly. Till then, take care, best of luck, happy studying. Bye-bye.